like firm. Jan Habich and Douglas Judd ended 5th overall, but irreparably damaged suspension forced their retirement. Serge Damso was a slender 6 seconds up on Enzo Kuhn. Johnny Gemmell was in charge in the production car race, with Nicholas Ryan's Bosel Subaru Impreza holding a potentially championship-winning 7th overall and 2nd in class. JP Damso led Class A7 from Vulcan, and Trott was ahead of Mark Ronier. Day 2 started slightly cooler for the 26 survivors. The quick wake-up call stage to the Tzaneen Showgrounds is always popular with fans. The 930-meter-long stage is extremely tight in places, with thick, soft sawdust making grip a challenge. The stage steps up a terraced ultra-tight switchback into a quick blast to the flying finish. The top 5 runners from day 1 are allowed to nominate their road positions for day 2 as the first cars on the road sweep away the loose gravel for those following. Increased grip equals faster stage times, or so the theory goes. Second was first on the road, followed by Gemmell's Mitsubishi, Kuhn and Serge Damso. Second was awake and fast, but it was Gemmell who took the fastest stage time in spite of his big, heavy car. That's a big drop if a driver misjudges his turn. Kuhn was steady and matched Feckin to the second. Damso threaded his way between the exhibition halls to end 2 seconds off Gemmell's time. JP Damso could smell the championship and gave it his all with a lead of around 5.5 minutes. Craig Trott and Nigel Hicks were ahead in Class A6 by a minute. Mark Ronier also had a puncture in stage 5, which saw his lead turn into a deficit of a minute. The class championship leaders, Eugene Lorenz and Derek Jacobs, had a torrid day and lost another 6 seconds to title rival Ronier. Cape Townians Charles Stradom and Saki Bosman was soldiering along in their saber paint Volkswagen Polo, but was set to retire. Eldam presented 30.2 kilometers of road through dark, leafy forest tracks littered with sticks and other forest debris, mountains and tight and technical streets. A twisting trip around a flay added to the challenge, and that was just the first half. After swooping under the Majaji Road Bridge, the stage continued around the perimeter of the worryingly low Tzaneen Dam. Nicholas Ryan set a competitive time of 24 minutes and 41 seconds. Feckin came through in 24.06 and Gemmell put in a 24.11. Enzo Kuhn hardly looked to be in cruise mode with a time in the high 23 minutes, but was it good enough? Serge Damso, one eye on victory, shot to the top of the timesheet with a stage-winning 23.49. Craig Green was quick and beat Charlie de Toy by 19 seconds, a really good performance, but de Toy had brake problems. Duplessis and Lefkowitz had a clean run at last, but caught de Toy and was stuck in his dust. It's a tall order to expect someone to race along at over 100 kilometers an hour without seeing where they're going. After a 20-minute service, teams headed to Stage 8, which was a rerun of the daunting mineshaft stage. The area has many side roads leading off the stage, and numerous crews got lost on the first run on Friday. This time they were also facing into the morning sun, but a steady breeze swept away the choking dust, and big rocks were a new hazard. Nicholas Ryan and Schalk van Heerden still had their Botel Subaru in 5th place and 2nd in Class N4. Enzo Kuhn put the hammer down and showed Serge Damter what he could do if he needed to, snatching his first stage win. The top teams had a great scrap, which entertained the thousands of spectators. Piazza Muto and Kirika still held sway at the front of Class N3. Straw and Stain put in a tremendous showing to be within a handful of seconds off the Sasol machine. Ruiz and Paris were still suffering the effects of overheating. Houghton revelled in the mineshaft stage, once again taking the Class A5 stage win from the BP Chico of Guguzulu and Regis Paris. Was high in the mountains above Tzaneen, and it was appreciably cooler in the Agave forest. Stage conditions varied from very tight tree-lined leafy roads with hard surfaces to fast, lightly gravelled and slippery wide roads. Many ultra-tight corners would test the bigger cars' maneuverability, with further potential for time losses over the 14.8-kilometre road. The situation at the head of Class N4 was stagnant. Ryan did not need to beat Gemmel. Was still setting competitive times in spite of the ridiculously tight corners and a few problems. But Gemmel was spectacularly quick in his Mitsubishi. Kuhn popped in another fastest time, but again only 2 seconds quicker than Damter. As the Toyota team set about routine service, the rally leader was calm.
It's very close in the front there, and try and keep it clean as possible. And 8 seconds is nothing in it, so we'll have to see by the end of the day.
Serge may have been tired, but Fecken had problems of his own.
The side shaft broke, and we lost left front brakes, and eventually all brakes at the front, so we did 10 Ks without brakes. We didn't lose too much time, but they had to replace the left front suspension, and the wheel alignment's been out now for 2 stages, so we've been battling along, yeah.
Not that Fecken had given up thoughts of winning.
I think they'll force each other to make a mistake. I might just gain a position.
Charlie Detroit battled through 10 kilometers of this stage without brakes. Green struggled through the tighter stuff and dropped away from Detroit. Duplessis and Lefkowitz soldiered on despite their catalogue of problems. The miscommunication is all it takes to throw it all away, and they were lucky. Sit back and enjoy the Lanza Express with Johnny Gemmel.
Tight hairpin left, possible wire entry, 180. very, very tough.
Cronje and Birkin were still trying to win the class, but were developing their own set of problems. Trott was equally determined to win and nearly overcooked it. Arrow murderer. Eugene Lawrence was still struggling along in his aging Toyota Conquest. Stradom was adding development miles to his Polo, a new car for the 2006 season. Stage 10 was the first two-thirds of this morning's Stage 7, some 16 kilometers of tricky road. Although the drivers would remember it from a few hours ago, conditions had changed as the roads were littered with uprooted rocks and other obstacles. Only the very foolish would throw caution to the wind, so they still needed to exercise care if they wanted to see out the day. Nicholas was relaxed and cautious.
It's getting rougher and it's getting more difficult and hotter. Tires are getting finished. I mean, the 20 kilometer stage, tires are gone. Finished.
Brian's day was about to take a turn for the worse. They nearly rolled after clipping a log. Becken had full braking power restored and set after Damso with a vengeance. Gemmell tried all he knew to stay with the S2000 cars. He loves mixing it with them, but was nearly 20 seconds slower than Damso. Enzo was in trouble with a time 2 minutes slower than Serge. Damso stretched imperiously to his third stage win. The other Damso was still in command in A7. Vulcan threw caution and dust to the wind as he tried to reel in the total run-X. Meanwhile, John Williams was still struggling with his misfire. Tony Ball was having one, a ball that is, and was set for a class podium.